Hey Cancer, welcome to Dark Eve Tarot. I'm Eve, and we're gonna get you a message with a focus on fantasy and the Matrix. So, we want a couple oracle cards, one for fantasy, one for the Matrix. Alright, you get 2 dark mirror cards. Alright, fantasy. Alright, we have the masquerade. We have the masquerade card here. Actually, I don't wanna do the book definition. I mean, masquerade as a keyword is pretty self-explanatory here. The thing is, though, it's like you've got this disappointing look, right? It's like, I don't know, I'm just getting the feeling that you got all dolled up and nowhere to go, or whatever you were trying to be didn't work out. So, and this is the fantasy, right? So we're doing fantasy here and the Matrix here. Let's move these to the side so we have enough room. Alright, so what is this fantasy? I wasn't even done asking the question. We're not taking that pop out. Alright, fantasy for Cancer. Okay, so we have the Temperance card, but what I'm getting here is like trying to make something look easy when it actually required a bunch of effort. And now, when that effort is fruitless, then it leads to a major disappointment. Chariot, that's you. That's you, Cancer. It's like thinking you've got it all figured out. Somehow you're above that. That's not quite it, is it? That's not quite it. It's not that you think you're above something. It's like you're trying to give the impression that you have some kind of elevated view of something, but like it's one of those things like the proof isn't in the pudding or something. It's a masquerade. It's playing a role. Again, look, Queen of Cups. Again, it's like something that you could very well be so focused on the image of, or thinking that you're portraying this, but like again, you've got this look of disappointment, just like over here, this look of disappointment. Like my costume didn't work. So there's a part of you, Cancer, that knows that this is somewhat of like wishful thinking, fantasy land. Delulu, I don't know. And I'm not trying to call you out or anything, because I'm doing this for all the signs. And I'm doing it for myself as well. Like, there's not one person alive that has never been deluded, or you know what I mean? And if you've gotten through it, awesome. Awesome. But like, we're all exposed to it, you know what I mean? Page of Cups. This is all you. See, and here you are acting all innocent. Acting all innocent. When your freaking costume doesn't work. When your masquerade doesn't work. And what's in the center of this whole row? Right here, the chariot. The center is you. Everything will be fine if you don't pretend. Now that, I think, is the message. Everything will be fine if you don't pretend. There's something about, losing yourself. Losing yourself in fantasy. And that, it could be something as simple as just spending more time wishing than being true. Or, you know what I mean? It could be something very simple like that. It doesn't mean you're, you know, like 7 degrees separated from reality or something. You know what I mean? Speaking of reality, or not reality, we're going to do the row of the Matrix. So, Cancer in the Matrix. Ooh, now how about a dose of reality? You go from having this costume on, right? This masquerade, then you go from that to being naked before the stars. Completely vulnerable, your true self, the true you. You can't escape the Matrix. Okay, well, let's see. Well, you can up here. You could escape the Matrix up here in Fantasyland. All right. Naked before the stars, a moment of vulnerability. I don't really think it necessarily has to be like being super vulnerable in front of others. This might actually just be between you and you. And I kind of get that vibe of like, let's get real. You know when you're lying to yourself, or you know when you're trying to deceive yourself. You know when you're rationalizing. You know when you're deflecting. You know when you're compensating. Like that could be a billion of those. Oh shit, no way. There you are again. Cancer. There you are again, the chariot. It's very interesting how we have the chariot here that is elevating. You're elevating yourself. You're dreaming of elevating yourself here. But this chariot, the Matrix chariot, is taking you backwards. It's almost like you are in a loop or something where you keep going back to some old memory where you were vulnerable. You couldn't help yourself. You had, whatever, you were taken advantage of, or you were dishonored or whatever, right? But like, you're going back in the past here. So how do we make the wheel stop? We have the Wheel of Fortune. How do we make the wheel stop? Like, how do you stop the Matrix? I don't think you can. I don't think you can stop it. So here we have the Four of Wands. Excuse me. It's depicting a wedding. So, I mean, yeah, Four of Wands, it can be a celebration, right? It can be a special event like a wedding or a birthday or just, what have you. But sometimes with Four of Wands, I get it like the focus is on like an invitation. I have a feeling that this invitation is reliant upon you being a little bit like Queen of Cups. The queens are very intuitive. The most intuitive is the Queen of Cups. It's like a psychic invitation or something. Oh, and the moon. Man, okay, so we got some unknowables here. So there's something there's something weird about the Matrix. I mean honestly, like the fantasy part, I kinda understand. I mean we all have like a fantasy land, right? We all daydream, wish for things, fool ourselves, what have you. But your Matrix, and in one way, you could see it as like a 3D reality or day to day stuff or something you're trapped in. I leave the metaphor up to you because this is a general reading. But in the Matrix, we have you returning to this vulnerability, wanting this wheel to stop. Like the cycle of the going back to the past, revisiting that fucking tragedy or whatever it was. It's like you just want it to stop. It's like you want happier times. You want to be able to celebrate. You want to feel good. You want to actually anticipate something like in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can't wait for blah blah blah. But then boom, there you are, hit with the unknowns again. And what does that do? It probably kicks you right back into Fantasyland. It's like, well, maybe I'll just like fake it till I make it, which works for a lot of people. But it seems like it's coming out for you right now, like to actually be more genuine. Because I mean, there's plenty of times when fake it till you make it like works really well. It's just not coming out that way for you right now. Yeah, it's like you don't have to pretend. Like even if you don't know, you don't have to pretend that you do. It's okay. You got the moon right here. There's something that's going to come to your attention, Cancer, because we have not only do we have the moon, and whenever the moon card for me in tarot, whenever the moon card comes out and it's full, that's like a spotlight. It's like a spotlight. And not only do you have the moon card, right? But like even in this Queen of Cups, it looks like she's standing in front of a spotlight. In your card, the Chariot here, you've got a full moon behind you, another spotlight. Even in the Temperance card, there is a little spotlight shining. I mean, it's a thing, right? You've got the moon, like there's a spotlight. And I don't think you've seen the full like I don't think you have all the information yet about something because even on these cards here, these moons aren't quite full. They're not quite full. Same here, not quite full. So I think there's more to come. There's more to come. All right, Cancer. So this is your message. Take what resonates, and I'll see you next time. Bye.